Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and today we are going to find out who took the top 3 spots in the Parishioners Top Cigars of 2023 list. And, it was a documented process by this point. You guys have heard us talk about it on the show a couple different times. And we are now going to be announcing the top 3 cigars. Now, if you've been following us on social media, you know what 3 and 2 are. But this is where you're going to learn who took number 1. But before we get into that, I'm going to be smoking a cigar here in a little bit. I have an interview coming up that I did pre-record with the winner of the number 1 spot. Due to scheduling over the holidays and everything like that, this interview did take place prior to Christmas, so you're going to hear us refer to Christmas a little bit. But that's okay. You know, it's the beauty of podcasting that we can schedule this stuff out. But I will be smoking the number 1 cigar with my guest. And so first, though, we need to discuss the cut. And the eventual cut, the cut that will take place here in a little bit, is brought to you by Riverman Cigar Company of Crestwood, Missouri. And guys, Dan the Man Ponder over there at Riverman Cigar Company, he's got all kinds of great cigars in. He has a nice warm lounge for those of you in the St. Louis area who want to swing by and relax and have a cigar and ring in the new year and that sort of thing. But, for those of you who aren't in the St. Louis area, it's important to note, and I talk about it all the time, but it's important to note that he does do mail order because this is the time of year, we're coming into January, and this is the time of year that brick and mortar shops, they slow down. They see a significant slowdown in sales because of, weather and everything like that. So I would just say that if you are a cigar consumer who is looking to make a purchase this, first couple months of the year, when it's still a little chilly out, but you're looking to make a purchase, please consider supporting a brick and mortar. And Dan the Man Ponder over there, he does do mail order. So you can give him a call at Riverman Cigar Company. You can talk to him, you can talk to Miss Cindy, Little John, whatever, and you can get a nice shipment of cigars and accessories and everything else sent to you right away. They're really good about turning that around. So again, if you're looking to stock up in preparation for the spring, or maybe you've got an ice tent like I do and you're still, smoking throughout the cold weather months, consider supporting a brick and mortar shop. Support a brick and mortar shop that has seen business slow down, and give them a call, do a mail order. It'll be greatly appreciated. So that's Riverman Cigar Company of Crestwood, Missouri, and when I eventually cut the cigar, then it will be time to cut the cigar. Anyway, it's time we go ahead. I just want to jump right into it. So, as we said, the time is now to announce the top 3 spots of the list. And coming in at number 3, we have the McAuliffe Black. That was the newest selection from McAuliffe Cigars, and I've had one. It's not one that I find around my area too much, so I admit I'm a little ignorant of the cigar. I haven't really had it, that much. But the one experience that I did have it with it was really good. It is worth noting that the price point on it is really nice, and I think that played a big role for a lot of people this year when they were looking for a good cigar. So the McAuliffe Black takes the number 3 spot in the Parishioners Top Cigars of 2023 list. Coming in at number 2, we have the Aladino Corojo Reserva. It's listed here in my list as Reserve. I'm sorry, Husto. It's a typo on my list, and I pulled an Anchorman and read what was on the screen. But the Aladino Corojo Reserva comes in at number 2. what have I not said about that cigar on this podcast over the years? It is my favorite of the Aladino line. It's the favorite of many people that smoke Aladino cigars. I know Mr. Jonathan over at the Cigar Authority is a big fan of it. It's in my opinion, as much as I love that Sumatra, it's still the top cigar that Aladino puts out. So Aladino Corojo Reserve takes the number 2 spot, and now we'll just jump into it. I think it's time we go ahead and jump over to the interview where you will learn what the top cigar of 2023, as nominated and voted on by you, the parishioners, was this year. And without further ado, we are joined by Rick Rodriguez of West Tampa Tobacco. And Rick, the parishioners, my listeners, my viewers, they have spoken. And the West Tampa Tobacco Red is the number 1 cigar as chosen by them for the Parishioners Top 25 of 2023. And I'm having some deja vu, my friend, because the last time you and I spoke here, you took the same position, but with the West Tampa Tobacco Black last year.
Wow. Thank God I'm smoking a red right now. Thank God. But I'm smoking a new size, and I'll talk about that. But thank you, guys. Thank you so much for everybody to, enjoy one of our cigars, because at the core of our business, what is West Tampa really mean, and what we're trying to deliver is a good product. But really, at the end of the day, it's not about packaging. It's not about stories. It's not about, me and Sarah and Gus. It's about, hey, bro, every time you reach for a cigar from West Tampa, did you enjoy it? Yes, I did. It was great. I don't care about that. Did you enjoy it? Yes, I did. And that brings us happiness. So thank you so much, because, again, we realize that there's a lot of cigars in the market, a lot of great cigars. And so for your fan base to choose one of our cigars, I know there's the opportunity to smoke a lot of cigars, a lot of great cigars for them to choose ours. Thank you. And Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yes, for sure. So I want to I'm firing up my red right now. And get it going here. But I want to talk a little bit about, kind of refresh your memory about how this all works. So the way this works is my listeners, they nominate cigars. I have nothing to do with this. I want to, flat out, I have nothing to do with this. Nick Gervais over at My Monthly Cigars, he assists and helps me out and does a lot of work with this. And he has nothing to do with it. It is entirely consumer driven. So they nominate the cigars. Then a list is compiled of all the nominees. There were 47. By the time it was all said and done, there were 47 cigars nominated this year. And there were so many. We were going to do a top 10, but then, like we did last year, but then there were so many. We're like, screw it, let's do a top 25 and, let the people go. Because if we would have done 10, I mean, I don't know. We would have had to pare it down, and I didn't want to have a hand in this at all. So we went with 25. And so the voting went out to the people. The people voted, and your West Tampa Tobacco White took 24th. The Attic Series took 20th. The Black took 4th, and then the Red took 1st. So of the top 25, you had 4 cigars in the 25.
Very to my whole company.
Exactly.
The only thing we don't have available for the market at the time you were voting was Bichi. Because Bichi just came out about a month ago. So I'm sure your fan base were already into this.
Yeah,
we started this way longer than a month ago or 2 weeks ago that they have access to the cigars. So I'll be interested to where that falls next year, because again, that was a great cigar, great story. We'll share that too. But
we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But so no, I just want to let you know, my people, they love your cigars. And so let's talk about the Red, because last time you and I spoke on the show here, which we need to do this more than once a year, by the way.
I would love that. I would love that. You have a
Um,
fan in my daughter. You have a huge
I
fan in my daughter.
she's so nice. She's so nice, and man, she keeps you on schedule. I email her. I'm like, when can I make this happen? And she goes, these dates, this time. I'm like, perfect. Let's make it happen. But
Yeah.
so the last time you and I spoke,
Mhm.
you were just starting to tease the red. You hadn't come out with the red yet. And here we are a year later, and the red is taking the top spot on the list. So let's talk about the red and kind of what went into that.
You know what? The red is a situation because we're working with a small factory. His access to tobacco is very small, limited. But again, even a limited factory, say they have only access to 3 wrappers and about 4 to 5 fillers. The combinations that you can apply those tobaccos, it's endless. We
Mm-hmm.
can definitely launch like 500 cigars. Now, 500 good cigars? No. But I guarantee along the way, you can. I said to him, I wanted to reach out to another tobacco. Do you have, access to any other tobacco? He says, Ricky, I have access to the Mexican wrapper. Stop. That was one of these rappers that CL was always talking about. It just the timing was never right for us to introduce, but because of General Cigar had access, I was able to smoke it a lot of times. So, bro, this is a good rapper. I really wanted to use this. Maybe one project next year, the next year. And so the minute I had access to that tobacco and I had the right to say, I want it, I want to use it, I said, bro, let's but and so that was really the first cigar that the team worked together because white and black were done kind of behind the scenes because I was still working with General Cigar. I had to ramp up production to launch West Tampa. So he did a great job in Zoom calls and emails and talking to him to be able to take my knowledge, take what I want from him, and deliver that. So if he can do that over Zoom, could I imagine when I get to this factory to work with him and his team, what can we design? And red is what we came up with.
So let's talk about the makeup of the cigar. So it's got a Mexican wrapper, and then from there,
well,
do we get into that, or is that proprietary?
No, it isn't. But there's a lot of people that are going to watch this show, and they have never smoked a cigar. And so, about maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago, I started to when somebody says, especially when I'm doing Zooms or meeting, what's the blend? No, let's do this. Let's these guys go out there and taste the cigar the right way without any information. Why? Because sometimes when a manufacturer mentions a blend, you hear a tobacco. Ooh, I don't like the tobacco.
That's true.
Do you not like the tobacco or the way that chef at that time gave you that steak? Maybe he put paprika on it. And so you now say, I don't like paprika. No, it was applied to the wrong thing. So paprika with fish is wonderful. With a steak, horrible. So that's the reason. There's so many ways. Right now, that blend is open to everybody. All you do, what's a blend of West Tampa bread? Boom, there it is. But for me, if you want to really experience a cigar by your palate, not by your memory, taste that cigar and then be surprised. No, I don't like Mexican. No, you didn't like Mexican coming from XYZ factory. This is my version of Mexican. And so, okay, perfect. So, yeah, we can, understand very minimum, tobaccos in that. So, I guarantee there's a chance there's some Nicaraguan in it. Because you look at it, but sometimes what I think for me, if you want to really share that, share it. But for me, for your fan base has never smoked it, because now they're going to say this is interesting. Number one, I have to try it myself. Try it. fucking blind, sometimes, and you'll be surprised that, oh my God, that I love this cigar. Or sometimes you're going to say, I don't like it, and be surprised. No, all those tobaccos I love, but not that combination. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I will say a couple things. First,
Hmm.
you mentioned Nicaraguan. I am getting some spice, some peppery
Yep.
on the
Hmm.
retrohale. Now on the
Hmm.
smoking experience, it's more of like a kind of earthy, chocolatey kind of component to the smoking
Yes. Yes.
experience.
Hmm.
Now in
Hmm.
terms of the wrapper, you're saying Mexican. To your point, oftentimes when I smoke a cigar with like a Mexican San Andreas wrapper, for example,
Hmm.
sometimes, not all the time
Right.
exclusively, but sometimes I find it doesn't quite burn as well, and
Right.
it's
Okay.
just not it's not my personal favorite wrapper that I find on some things.
Right.
However, the
Hmm.
red here is burning very, very well. My burn line is very nice.
Hmm.
I'm in my tent, so I do have some airflow through here, not as much as perhaps I'd like if you're seeing all the smoke
Right.
billowing, but it's really tight. And so in terms of a Mexican wrapper, this one is burning wonderfully. So to your point, yeah, I mean maybe it's one of those things that if I'd have been told, oh, Mexican wrapper to start with, I'd be a little more predisposed against, not necessarily against it, but you know what I mean. I might have a predisposition.
For sure. For
Whereas,
sure. For sure.
here it's going great.
Remember, throughout my career, I've been introduced to a lot of gentlemen and ladies that really understand tobacco and knowledge about cigars. And they're always saying to me, remember, I don't care who you're talking to, who you're dealing with. Every smoker in the world buys this way: eyes, memory, and then taste. Oh, I love West Tampa. I love Fuente. So they're going into that new cigar already with high love and respect for that. So they grade that cigar on a huge curve
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes it can work against you. Oh, CAO. You know what? I did smoke a CAO about 20 years ago, and I didn't like it. So now you're going to judge me for the second cigar ever for CAO. You're going to smoke because you didn't like, and they go in and they just graze me like this. You need to prove to me that I should go back to CAO. So it can work for you and hurt you sometimes. But if the fan base enjoys your style, because everybody has a style. When you think of Pepin, you think of that spicy, that
Mm-hmm.
full body, that richment, of Nicaragua. When you think of General Cigar Macanudo, oh, that creamy, elegant Macanudo. And so everybody has that thing. So, again, what we're trying to do is not only introduce new cigars for our fan base, but people are like, that's interesting. Maybe I should gravitate and try myself. But
Oh,
that's the reason. Like you said, with your Mexican experience, you're going in. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah.
So you're going to grade me, and that's not your fault. I do the same thing. Do this. Tell me to make a Cameroon cigar.
Oh, yeah.
I am not a Cameroon's fan, but it's like,
Okay.
but I did a remake of a little size of the CAO Cameroon. Turned my image completely upside down. Oh, okay. I've been only smoking large ring gauges for maybe 52 and over for Cameroon. I didn't like that. But I
Yeah.
noticed when I go down in size and really concentrate only on the Cameroon, not with the fillers in play, so bro, maybe I do like Cameroon, but I'm noticing smaller sizes, not larger sizes, perform better for me. So even me can turn my image because I went into that meeting. Cameroon, don't like it. Don't like it. But just I
Interesting.
won't. We don't care if you like it. You're the chef. Make this dinner for our guests. And so one of the things I share one of my favorite stories about making cigars that you do not like. How do you do that? I was in a restaurant in I think Dallas, and of course eating a steak. And we went to the steakhouse because the chef and the owner love cigars, and they still are able to smoke his cigars in the back room. And so we
Oh,
have a
nice.
dinner, and then after dinner, clean the plates off, cup of coffee, light your cigars. And so we're lighting cigars, bro. And I'm saying to the people, so I think this is the best steak I've ever eaten in my life. And I said, well, because maybe it's free. Yeah, I'm sure that
That
has
helps.
something to do with it. But I think, I want to really meet the chef. Oh, bro, he wants to come out here and meet you too. He loves your cigars. He loves Flathead. And so he came out, and I had a box of Flathead. We knew that we're going to meet each other. I said, bro, um, and he was kind of slim. I said, how are you slim? After eating all these steaks you cook, I can't believe you're still. He says, bro, he looked around. I don't eat steak. I said, no. I own a steakhouse. The chef of the steakhouse. I'm a vegetarian.
Wow.
How do you do that? Oh, I'm a trained chef. I can kick you anything you want to eat, but I don't eat everything I cook.
Okay. So in
Really changed my mind about going into projects that maybe tobaccos I don't like, but that's not my job is to like it or not. My job is to get the best of that tobacco that we can deliver the fans that enjoy that tobacco.
Interesting. Well, you obviously did a good job this year because, again, like I said, four offerings. I mean, basically everything except, like you said, it's Boliche, right?
Belichi. Belichi. Yeah.
Boliche Boulevard,
Mm-hmm.
on the list. And so, the Attic series, that was the other thing that you were talking about last year, with us on the show was, that was going to be kind of a rotating project, just kind of when you had something fun that you wanted to do, kind of a limited thing. Um, is there anything what's coming up with that? Do you have anything that you want to talk about? Will
So
there be
I don't
another
know if no, for sure. There's going to be a
yeah,
series, and we'll talk about that series. But let's go
yeah.
back to the original Addict, and I think you said it was number 20
It
on
was
your
number
rating.
20. Yep.
Okay, okay, and the first one is Red. Okay, this is going to show you exactly what I talked about earlier: eyes, memory, and taste.
Okay.
The Addict was a test blend to see if the fan base will accept this blend. If they accept this blend, we're going to turn this blend into a series called Red.
Perfect.
And
So
so
look at that.
red is Attic, and Attic is red. Now, I have been hearing and telling this story, and nobody wants to believe it. They're no, because I have fans out there say, I have smoke in your attic. Bread is unbelievable. Attic was good. Or I have smoke in the attic. Oh my God. Bread is okay.
Yeah.
And so, okay, guys, the only difference, if you look at the attic Toro is a 54 ring gauge. The red Toro is a 52 ring gauge. We know that we kind of age attic about 2 months or 3 months before we started to box them. And but for red, after production, we're boxing. So I think the combination of that little ring gauge size, that little aging, turn that cigar into something special or something. Okay, I still think red is better. But if you look at the blend of Attic and you compare it to the blend of red, exactly the same. Exactly the
Interesting.
same. It is interesting, and it taught me a lot that maybe when I want to test a blend, to not make it, north and south, right and wrong. Maybe we just taste it and just don't share that information
Yeah.
because again, I don't want to embarrass anybody. I've never corrected anybody. I had never corrected anybody. What do you know about, bro? This shows you I'm the expert. This is now, I walked away. That's a great opinion, and I'm so happy you like one of the two.
Yeah.
So I don't want to embarrass anybody. So anybody that voted for Attic 20 deserves that spot, and anybody that voted red for number one deserves that spot. So I'm not here to say, guys, you're a fool because you're such a different. No, I think your fan base told me that I don't care if they're saying. I think that for performance and the overall style, the look, the price point matches better for me for red. And so I think everybody's right. Everybody's right.
Well, and part of it could also come into availability because, correct me if I'm wrong, the Attic was more limited, obviously, than the red is. And so it may be one of those things. Like, I mean, I'll sit here, hand to God, and tell you, I didn't smoke an Attic series. I never encountered one. I obviously have encountered the red. I really like the red. And if you're telling me it was the same thing, then hey, perfect, But no, if I would have voted, I probably would have not necessarily voted for the Attic series because I hadn't smoked it. But
right. Well, what we can do, somebody that knows somebody, like Sarah knows me.
I know.
We have an Attic. No, I would love that because, again, your fans talk to you. You should experience again, out of your top 25, do you have experienced all the cigars? You should experience that one. So I would love to do is send your cigars to somebody else and let them take the bands off, handle your cigar, and say, okay, I know which one is red and which one is Attic. Just smoke it and say, which one do you vote for? Who's the best? Not say, well, this is red or this is Attic. Just smoke them blind and say, okay, bro, okay, kind of the same. You're going to know that, but I kind of want this one. Oh, the Attic. You'll see the little difference of re-engage, but sometimes you can't. But I think you can. Yeah,
52 to 54 is such a minor change.
Really is.
Now if you were sending me like a 70 and a 52,
exactly.
They'd be like, all right, I think I know that one.
yeah, exactly.
Well, interesting, but yeah, and to your point, the ring gauge might have made a point. Age might have made a point. And hype plays a role in this as well. Like you said, if you're not smoking it blind, you don't even know. So interesting. So the Bichi, let's talk about that. That just came out. I haven't encountered that one yet either. The shop that I went to yesterday to pick up this guy, they hadn't gotten that one in.
So again, by somebody that knows somebody that we sold out.
I'm not I will say, Rick, I appreciate that. I'm not one to ever ask. That's just not.
That's the reason. That's
my
reason
personality.
I'm offering.
Well, I appreciate
the reason
that.
I am offering, because if you started on your Kevin, I haven't smoked it. I wish I did. If you can send me one, you know what? We're out. I'm so sorry, you're out. And I have a box right here. But I love people that talk to me. And one of my favorite things is when I meet somebody 6 months, a year, sometimes 2 or 3 years later, I said, Ricky, I met you about 2 years ago. You promised me to send me XYZ. Oh my God, I'm waiting for it. Did I do it? He said, and you did it. You're one of the only manufacturer that I've ever called across. Oh, I'm going to send you a hat or send you this. I send you cigars, and they never do it. It's not because they don't want to. It's because we're bombarded meeting people, and we promise and time. And so for a long time, every time I promised somebody, I said, bro, do me a favor. And I'm going to fill this out, a note, and your address, and say, send him a box of, 6x60 flathead. I send that text to my wife. She knows to print that out, place it on my table. And so when I get home, oh, wow, I promised three guys, a box of cigars, but I deliver. And so that's the reason I do that, because that a reason as as far as interviewing me, I want you to be able to smoke everything we're talking about, and so you have your own experience. So if I have to send you a Bichi or a addict for you to for the next time we talk, and it's not going to be next year or a year from now, because hey, bro, thank you so much for being the man of your word, and I smoked your Bichi, I smoked your addict, good cigars, and
I
we can talk
appreciate
about
it.
it.
I
Yeah,
just,
yeah, for sure.
I know that, and I'm not speaking about anyone in person in particular, so I don't want anyone coming at me. But I know that in and amongst, people who do kind of what I do, there's
Mhm.
a certain percentage of, for lack of a better term, I'll just call them beggars that go around and it's like, what can I score? What can I get? And that's never been, like
We know these
I'm
guys.
I go,
We
yeah,
know those guys.
you
We
know
know
who
them.
they
We
are.
know.
So
We
I go
know them.
out, I
We know.
purchase, I do whatever. I'm
Yeah,
always
yeah,
appreciative of whatever is sent,
yeah, 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 yeah.
but I never ever ask. So anyway, but no, I
All
do
right.
appreciate that. So
So
um
talking about Belici.
yes, let's talk
Belici.
about Belichi.
So we only made about, I think, we only had 25,000 cigars. So that's the reason so the story goes like this. When we started West Tampa, started to go out and introduce ourselves to factories to work with, uh, we selected at the beginning one factory I really wanted to work with. It was the Olivas. Not the cigar Olivas, the
The
tobacco grower
tobacco
Oliva,
growers.
based in where? West Tampa. Their home office is West Tampa. So I had a meeting with Johnny Oliva and Troy Oliva. And bro, yeah, I'm doing this. It's going to be called West Tampa. Their eyes lit up, and like, oh, we want to be a part of this. And so exactly. So, and a handshake. You know what? Let's start to blend. And we came up with this blend, and we are really enjoyed it. And said, you know what? This is it. I need three sizes. Start production. My partner, about maybe 3 days later, a week later, he says, "Hey, by the way, how much is that cigar?" Oh, I don't know. To production start? Yeah. Okay, we need to call him. And it was a break on the weekend. And so we called him about, the following 10 days later.
Yeah.
And they says, "Hey, bro, by the way, what's the price point of these cigars, the 6x60, the Toro and Robusto?" And they gave us a price point. And I'm like, bro, I thought we were friends. What do you mean? It's a great blend. This price point, if I priced the right way, the Toro would be about $18. The 6x60 in the market would be about $20. There is no way I can start my company dragging my fan base for CAO that's used to paying about $8 to $12, and now introduce the Markham for $18 to $20 in the Robusto and $15. I said, I
Yeah.
can't do this. Stopped production. And well, we already started on two sizes. I said, stop, stop. How many? Well, we have 25,000. Oh my God. Oh my God. So 25,000 of a 6x60 stopped. And so what we did was bury them. And we pay for the cigars. And they have been housing the cigar for 2 years. 2 years. And we eventually said, you know what? What are we going to do with those all cigars? I said, bro, let's do this. We know the price point of Addict is about $12.99. They agreed that that's a price point that the brand base will reach for, and so let's give them that on that cigar. So the reason we did a 50 count box to save money for everybody. So we had to 50 count box, a really plain box. So we're trying to dump all the savings in the packaging and the band to not hurt the fans. And that we took a hit of our price point to be able to share the cigar. But you know what? At the end of the day, we launched it. The fan base got a good cigar for a good price point, enjoyed it. We're happy. We're happy. And that's kind of the situation for that cigar. So if you see it in the market, guarantee you it's worth your dollars and your time to pick it up. I know it's kind of a big green gauge. So, a lot of people don't smoke, but you know what? Just buy one. Just buy
60's
one.
about my
Yeah,
top,
I agree. Yeah, but buy one and enjoy it and see if okay, this is kind of good. This is a reason I want to support Ricky, even if a large ring case I'm not used to. That was an enjoyable cigar, and the name Felici is we're just trying to connect the fan base with this beautiful area called Tampa and the rich history of tobacco and cigar making, and so there is a street in Tampa called Columbus Drive. Columbus Drive is in West Tampa and is lined from block to block with Cuban restaurants. They're all fighting each other, but everybody offers something that you need. Maybe the black beans of that guy's restaurant is better than the other guy's, but the other guy's Cuban sandwich is better than that guy. So you just put what do you want to eat? Go to that restaurant. What do you want to eat? Go to that restaurant. But going, being raised in West Tampa, on Friday nights, my family went out to dinner to Columbus Drive. And so, Dad, where we're going, again, we're going to go to Bichi Boulevard. And so everybody in Tampa calls that road Bichi Boulevard because Bichi is the hardest roast, Cuban roast to make. If you can make that, you're kind of giving your restaurant a star on the door. We can make Bichi. Okay, you can make that. You can make anything then. And so I just want to share a little bit of Tampa with everybody that wants to come to Tampa to see the rich history of West Tampa, J.C. Newman, Fuente, Oliva. There's some beautiful history in Tampa, and people want to visit, but they can't. So I'm going to share a little bit of Tampa throughout these series of cigars.
I love Tampa. I was down there last in 2021, and that was the second time. I went down first in 2020, right before Thanksgiving, and then in 21 it was right after Thanksgiving. And I love it. It's just such a wonderful area. And like you said, the Newman tour and hanging out in Ybor and everything. I mean, it's just there's so much to do and so much to see. But my question, I'm gonna admit ignorance here. Bichi, what is Bichi? Like the dish?
Bichi, it's a Cuban roast. It's a roast that we kind of bore out of the center and put chorizo, a Spanish sausage, and so and then you bake it with onions and green peppers. It produces that brown gravy, and it's just fantastic. It's so again,
sounds
it's
really good.
It's a tough piece of beef because the Cubans and especially growing up, we didn't go for the fillets that we didn't have. So you have a lot of the tougher cuts of beef. So when you look at Felici, it is a tough cut, and it can be, I mean, like shoe leather. If you overcook it, and if you undercook it, it's still like shoe leather. But there's a perfect little fucking area that if you cook, it just melts in your mouth. They're like, okay, this guy, low temperature, long time. That's the secret. And so Bichi is a Spanish roast, but that's the reason they nicknamed that street, because if you can do Bichi, that was a star, and that's one of the good restaurants you can celebrate a party or a birthday with, because you go to the best of these little restaurants.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'll have to try it next time I'm down there, because I obviously want to get back down. It's been too long. And
you need to come to the garage.
I do need to come to the garage.
Oh, this is legendary. Oh, Sharon, you can get something to drink.
You're fine. Sorry. You're fine. No, I remember loving your garage last year when we did this, and then I'm marveling at it again this year, and you've got the Grinch going on with
Yeah,
there. So I mean, it's
Charlie this fish is smoking the West Tampa White. So yeah. So,
brilliant.
but yeah.
No, that's fantastic. So now, looking ahead into 2024, we've got the trade shows kind of all stacked up in the beginning. Well, I guess not the TAA, but I'm ignorance.
No, we're going to
again.
go to that. We're going to go to that for the first time. My partner is going out there. We have a part-time rep that works for us, Taylor in Vegas. She's going to be with us. We're going to try to figure out, should we be a part of it bigger next year? So this is the first time. Again, the big trade show will definitely be there in March to kind of launch a couple of things. We're going to launch a new full-time line called Circle, and it's kind of the circle of my life in the cigar business. And so I'm kind of going back in time and kind of, okay, I'm a storyteller, and I love to connect true stories. I don't want to market a story. I'm leaving a company called General Cigar, bless her heart, great company. Still smoke a lot of CAOs, still smoke a lot of General Cigar. I'm a believer in General Cigar. But because they're so big, they had a big marketing department, and they're always creating stories by marketing. And I said, that's hard. I just want to kind of tell true stories. And so for us to be the circle is represent 3 series of cigars. And these 3 series are going to be connecting 3 masters that taught me what I do for a living. And so if you look at the Hall of Fame in CA, there's now 15 people, but for a while there was only 11. And I was trained by 4 of the 11 Hall of Fame people.
Wow.
Frank Vanessa, Hall of Fame for growing tobacco in Central America, forming Punch, Excalibur, and Hoya for Villazon. Ernesto Perez Carrillo formed La Gloria, and now EPC taught me about fermentation. Mr. Coleman, Hall of Famer, how do you own a factory? How do you respect the guy that's sweeping the floor equal to your general manager? And everybody in between, and his eyes were equal. The only thing that separated them is the pay. But the respect that he gave the guy that was sweeping the floor, I've been with him, equal to the guy that was running his factory. And he taught me how to respect and manage a factory. And of course, the one that really helped my career was Benji Menendez, a Hall of Famer. And he taught me the art of blending cigars. And so what I want to do is, if I can connect certain people that helped my career, the series called Circles, that's what we're going to do. So the first one is going to be introduced to the market maybe in March, April, or May, depending on the production. But we will showcase and highlight at the trade show the new cigar called Circle.
Fantastic. So let me ask another question regarding PCA kind of moving up to March. Did that impact? Yeah, how did that impact your scheduling and planning purposes? Because I've talked to some other manufacturers, and I mean, let's be real, it shortened up the schedule between between the trade shows.
I think it's going to be maybe tough on certain larger manufacturers, because again, a large manufacturer is like driving a cruise ship, and you need to go that way. And it takes them so long to turn around because they're producing so many cigars to fit in that schedule. A new cigar, that's hard sometimes. But when you're kind of mid-size or small, you're now in the speedboat. Oh, go that way. Boom, you're going. And
way more nimble.
Exactly. So it's easier sometimes for the smaller guys and the mid-sized guys to react to the shorter schedule. but everybody's going to react, and it's going to be kind of hard for everybody, harder on somebody than other. But after that, you go back to the original. Now you have a full year until the next trade show. So this year, maybe you'll see a lot of guys say, we have nothing new to show. We will show something, but we're not ready to really talk about it until maybe June, July, August, and then they will release it, kind of out of the spotlight of a trade show.
Gotcha. Which would have been right about the time of PCA as it normally would have fallen. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense.
But the benefit for every manufacturer, why we love this, because when you had the trade show in August or July, and you started to ship your product in September, October, a third, not 2/3 of your country shut down for the winter, and now you have all this product sitting on your shelf. House sales, bro, horrible. Is the cigar? No, there's nobody here. It's snowing outside. So now every shop is going to have a great run from the spring to the summer to really judge that cigar and get that cigar to the market, so they can start to taper down in the winter time and have not that pressure of the new cigar launch for that time frame.
No, that makes a lot of sense, because I've been speaking with a friend of the show, Ken Claret. She owns Ash and Ale over in Palm Coast, Florida, and I never put two and two together, but he told me that his slow time is the summer, because it gets so hot in Florida. Never, I don't know why that never clicked, but it just never clicked with me that, like, I guess Florida would have a slow time. It would just be opposite from, like for me here in St. Louis, it's getting cold and everything else. And so hence I'm in a tent, but you know what I mean? It's one of those things, but interesting. I never thought of that.
You go to, Florida, Texas, Arizona in August. The last thing you want to do is be outside with a cup of fucking hot coffee and smoking a hot cigar. You're just dripping. You're like, oh my God, this is not comfortable. We tend to do exactly what the northern people do in the winter, gravitate more to the shops. Okay. So in August and in July, September, shops in Florida, Texas are busy with people, because I can't golf, I can't fish, I can't do anything outside. It's so hot, and the last thing I want to do is fucking smoke a cigar. So they gravitate to the AC. And the north people, I can't do anything outside. It's snowing. I would gravitate to the heater inside of the shops. So we do have that kind of flip-flop kind of thing. Your winter is Australia's summer, and their winter is our summer. So it's kind of flip-flop in America too for cigar smokers.
Okay, interesting. Well, now I want to talk about just big picture for West Tampa Tobacco. So you guys, relatively young company. How has things on a macro level gone over the last year since you and I talked? Like, growth in retailers, things of that nature.
It's been unbelievable. Matter of fact, tomorrow we'll be on the 22nd. We'll be 19 months old. So we launched and formed West Tampa in May 22nd. And so we're going to be 19 months old. And the growth for this year has been overwhelming sometimes. Very good, but we didn't expect it. Again, we wanted it to be year two, going to year two, and about 250 shops. We're already at 400 shops.
Fantastic.
Year two, we wanted to be in about maybe 5 to 6 countries globally, and we're in 38 countries globally. Wow. And we just signed a deal with Hong Kong and Asia. Malaysia, and then maybe we're going to get to China very soon. So the growth has been great. At the beginning, I think it was to support me. We know that. We knew that my fan base will allow me to open a lot of doors for West Tampa. But we were so happy when about 6 months later, we're getting calls because everybody that wanted to support me opened from day 1 to 6 months. And we had them, everybody that we really thought we were going to get. But for the last year, it's been more of people come. We don't really know who owns it, don't care, but our fan base will say, "Where's my West Tampa?" So, who is West Tampa, and what is it about? So, and now people are coming to this company not based on the love for me, is a love for the people, the fan base. Like, hey, bro, there's a new cigar company called West Tampa that I think I want to support it. You need to bring it in. Let's talk this. And everybody's kind of bringing it in. And the beauty of it is the only way a manufacturer can really thank a shop owner for bringing that product in is not to thank you, it's not the hug, it's not the hand fucking fist pump. It's, are you selling cigars? Oh my God, yes. We sell a lot of West Tampa. That's music to my ears. That's the only way I can say thank you. Thank you for taking the chance on us, because at the end of the day, you can love me and that cigar is sitting there. Hey, bro, a year ago you sold me this box and I maybe half is gone. I love you to death. You're gone. You're gone. You have to go bye-bye.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Is that you say you would credit the early retailers to being friends or fans of yourself, in
Mm-hmm.
your CAO days.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, if I'm a retailer and I know you and we're friends and I bring you in, sight unseen, starting off with West Tampa Tobacco, and I bring you in and the cigars aren't good, dude, we can be friends all day long, but business is business, and
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
it all rides on that product. And the fact that you've seen this growth and seen these reorders and you're getting the accolades and everything else, that just that shows that you're a great guy, but the product is there. The product is quality, and the product is what people are going for, and that's
And
awesome.
I think they realize, the shop owners realize that I know that. I know that
Yeah,
I'm not going to go to you for myself only. They know that I'm not going to ever want to talk about a cigar that I do not believe in. I just made it, bro. You just or you like it? Don't worry about it, bro.
you're
If
not
I
you're
do
not
not
dumping
believe it,
product on them.
no. If I don't
Yeah.
believe it, I cannot stand up in front of anybody and showcase that cigar. So they know that, and so again, we knew if bro, you think you're buying me? I'm telling you, do not buy me. Buy my cigar. Take me out, but buy the cigar and see if it works. Because when an old a gentleman that when I was training for Jello Cigar to be a salesman in 2000, and I rode with this old guy. I mean, old salty dog, and we went into the shop, and I was in North Carolina. His territory was over in North Carolina, and tall guy, Mr. Jones, and he looked at me and he called me prissy britches, because he says, "Bro, really? You're going to wear skinny jeans? You fucking prissy britch?" I said, "Bro, you got to be kidding me!" And he says, let's go." But he was old school the way he, kind of sold a product. And so we went into a humidor, and he says, "What do you see?" I said, "Bro, okay, cigars. Okay, that's good, but I don't see cigars. Really, really, what do you see? Okay, boxes. No, I don't see boxes either." I said, "Oh, what do you see, Mr. Jones?" "I see an apartment complex." And General Cigar has 4 apartments because we only have 4 boxes. And those are apartment complex. Let me ask you this, Ricky. Do you have a house? Yes. If you don't pay your mortgage, what happens? Oh, I'm kicked out. If you don't pay your rent, what happens? You're kicked out. Exactly the same. So whenever you make a cigar in the future, remember, you're just an apartment. And if you don't have that cigar selling, you're going to get kicked out.
You're gonna get
They can
kicked
love
out.
you, invite you, bro. Every Tuesday we have a pool party. You're welcome, but you're not going to live here anymore. You can always visit, but you can always visit my shelf, Ricky. I love you. I'll serve you coffee. We'll smoke a cigar, but I'm not going to carry your product because it's not selling. So I've always viewed cigars as something that has a value for me, and it has to have a value for the shop owner to be able to showcase it, to allow it to kind of sell itself.
That's a fantastic mentality. It's got to be a partnership. It's got to be, beneficial for everybody involved.
Mm-hmm.
So perfect. Well, I have a segment here that we do where the entertainment report, where we talk about, what movies we're watching, TVs we're watching, podcasts listening to, books we're reading, just kind of a totally separate thing, and it kind of gives a little insight. So let's do that real quick. It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by Villiger. Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. So, Ricky, what have you been watching? What have you been entertained by lately?
You know what? I'm old school, so I'm watching a lot of old Christmas movies right now, which is bombarded. So I love the Turner Classic movie station, and so they've just been running. So I think Elf I've watched already about 3 times. So really into that. On Christmas morning, I have not seen it, and my daughter and my wife has seen it, but we're going to open presents and Christmas morning because that's our time for a family. We celebrate as Latins Christmas Eve. That's the party. But Christmas morning is always me, Sarah, Susan, champagne, and watch a movie and open. And we're going to watch Barbie. I want to watch Barbie. Yeah, so I'm really excited to see this movie because it's just a fantasy, and I love somebody that can take me for a joyride. And I think, I'm not into Barbies. Let me make. I was a Geo guy, but I was not a Barbie guy. But I'm really interested in seeing this movie.
I've heard. I haven't seen it yet. But I've actually heard that it's a much different movie experience than you think it's going to be. That you think it's going to be just this bubblegum kind of, girl kind of, whatever.
Right.
But I hear there's a lot more going on to it than you realize. And that I had a lot of people tell me that when you actually watch it and pay attention, it's not a kid's movie, that there's a lot more going on with it. So, so who knows? Maybe it'll be kind of different for you. We're doing Christmas Eve myself, my family, because I have my son that weekend, and then Monday morning I take him home, and so Christmas Eve will be our big night. And my son, he's 7.5 and loves Clifford the Big Red Dog, and that's on there's a Clifford movie that's on Paramount Plus, so we'll be watching Clifford that evening.
Perfect.
It's a same kind of thing, man. Same kind of thing. But
I missed that. I missed, Sarah, bless her heart. She's now 32. But to see Christmas through the eyes of your kid makes you know what Christmas is really about. And so he is at the peak right now. 7, bro. He fully understands Santa Claus. He fully understands everything.
Very afraid of Santa Claus.
Yeah, it's you want to hold that. Even Sarah is. I think she says that Sarah says that 12 years old. I know, but let me dream. Just don't,
Yeah.
don't from mom and dad. Still put Santa, please. I just want to keep it as long as I can. And so, yeah, it's to see that through your son's eyes. Again, you think last year was great. This year is going to be better. Next year is going to be better. And it's just amazing to see it through the love and the what they see Christmas represents, because we get so crusty and old and it's all bullshit. I have to buy, but it is beautiful.
Fantastic. Like I said, my kid, he's still very much afraid of Santa, but yet oddly enough was perfectly fine with the Grinch when we saw him at a breakfast with Santa. So
Right.
I don't know what that's all about, but whatever, I'll take it.
Right, yeah.
So is there a holiday movie that you absolutely have to see in order for it to be Christmas for you?
I think I think for us, that brings us joy every time is Elf right now. Elf for us
Okay.
is it's just pure fun. Christmas, Christmas Vacation is another
That's
classic.
mine.
Yeah, and so
Yep.
but old school, It's a Wonderful Life is one of my favorite. A really deep thinking movie that you don't think you're important till you're left, and all of a sudden you're seeing your family without you, and what you bring to your family, good or bad, you are something dear to their heart. So those three movies is definitely on my list every year, and along the way, in and out. I love the old movie from Jane Wayne. The three. Oh my God, the three. It's three bank robbers, and they robbed in Christmas Eve, and they found the baby uh, in the desert, and they have to take the baby across the desert, and to see John Wayne try to feed a baby with his little gun and his bro, it's great. It's great. I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know the name, but
I don't.
it's just three guys in John Wayne, and you look it up, and it's a great western, but it's underlined with a Christmas theme to it. And it's very, very good.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, I am getting really, really far down on my red here. I'm down to the final third, and there's kind of been a leathery component that's come in on it.
Mm-hmm.
The spice
Mm-hmm.
level has picked up, but I want to say the draw on this has been absolutely perfect. It's been a
Yeah.
little
Mm-hmm.
smokestack here in my tent.
Yeah.
I love that. I like when a cigar
I do
kicks off a
too.
good.
Yeah.
I want to know that I'm smoking a cigar,
I do too.
and
That smoke is everything. It's that we don't give credit to the smoke enough sometimes. I believe that draw, because that smoke, if you have a bill of smoke, all that smoke is flavor. So if you have a cigar that gives you some smoke, bro, it's not going to be your favorite cigar. I guarantee you're going to lend to that cigar. It's like whatever it is. It could be a Rocky Patel, it could be a Fuente, it could be West Tampa, but that mouth to smoke. The more smoke that you receive in your mouth, the more flavor you're going to receive from the tobacco.
well,
And so it's
the
amazing.
aromatics as it's around. I mean, like that's the thing. As I'm sitting here in my tent, it
Mm-hmm.
swirls around a little bit before it kind of escapes, and so you're getting kind of a little bit of a slight floralish kind of thing, and a little
Mm-hmm.
cinnamon, and that and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot, and the
Mm-hmm.
aromatics of the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I've said on here many times before that when you sit outside on your deck or on your patio in the spring, summer, fall, and you're just outside, that
Mm-hmm.
you lose probably as much as
I
50%
agree.
of
I
the
agree.
cigar because of Mother Nature just taking it away. The wind comes along, takes away that smoke, and you lose that aromatic aspect of it. And I feel like sometimes in the lounges we do the same thing because it's a blend of everybody's smoke and
Right,
whatnot.
right, 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 right,
So,
right.
to sit like this in my little 25 square foot, 5x5 ice tent here and have
Mhm.
that smoke swirl around a little, it's like, yeah, I'm getting the full um, West
Yeah,
Tampa Tobacco Red
I love
experience.
that.
And man, it's
I,
fantastic.
because I don't think we pay enough attention to the smell of this. Because again, I've always said to you, everybody, why do you not eat as much when you have a cold? You're still hungry, but because I'm eating, I can't taste it. Well, taste is smelling.
Yeah,
If you can't smell, your taste goes down. So you just eat enough to satisfy you. But when you have no cold, the aroma of that lasagna, that plate, you smell it. Oh my God! It's so. I agree with you. Sometimes we should smoke again, sampling cigars for the first time. I don't think to be alone, but you don't need 10 people. Maybe yourself and your partner or your friend, and you smoke it. So, and then blind. Go outside, pitch black. Don't look at the wrapper. Don't look at the. Just concentrate of what you're tasting and what you're smelling. And like, okay, now I really can judge that cigar.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, Ricky, where can people find out more information about West Tampa Tobacco?
Just go to our website, westtampatobacco.com, and you can see our stories. You can see the makeup of cigars. If you want to research yourself, what is the blend of West Tampa? Because this fool Ricky didn't talk about it, and so I want to know. So go there, and then also there's a great thing called the store locator. And so you can input your zip code, and it'll kind of direct you. The nearest shop is, matter of fact, a mile away. Or the nearest shop, if you're living in North Dakota, the nearest shop is 1,000 miles away. And so, but you can find it, and hopefully, we're going to be, near you if you have. And we're always suggesting to us, okay, as far as selling cigars in the market, we have indicated to every rep that works for the no more opening cigars lounges. Let them come to us. Why? Because when they come to us, they have a want to be, given information. When you sell somebody cigars, I didn't really want it, but the salesman is good, and I bought it. So we're saying we're not kind of seeking out new shops, but if you have a fan and they go to their local shop and they said, well, we don't carry it, well, call Ricky. Well, I heard that he's not opening his car. That's right, until you call us. And if you call us, we're open for business for anybody's interested, but we're not going to sell you West Tampa. If you're interested, we'll share West Tampa with you. And the only thing I can say for the fans of white, red, and black, we are going to launch maybe in February a new size, and it's going to be a Lancero. And it's
Oh,
not going to be a national launch because what we don't want to do is tie up money for a national launch in boxes that we know there's some shops will say, bro, I love you to death, but we have a huge problem with Lanceros on my shop. But there are shops, bro, we can't get enough Lanceros. So the market is going to be open to certain accounts that want them. If they want them, they're going to be able to receive them. If you don't, there's no pressure that, bro, you need to support us and buy everything we have. No, you walk away. And then the second release is going to be a kind of a flying pig shape and
okay.
size that we're going to introduce for red, white, and black too. So we're just going to continue to enhance the growth of the three, but not put the pressure on everybody to carry all of the new sizes. If you want them, do it because you're already supporting with the great sellers, the Robustos, the Toros, and the 6x60. Those are number one, number two, number three best selling cigars on the market, and the other ones after number three is a huge drop off to number 4. Huge drop off from number 5. Huge drop off. So if you want to introduce those cigars to the market, just introduce the shops that have knowledge of that size and can sell and educate the consumers. Why should I pay $10 for a Lancero when I can buy the 6x60 for $12?
Yeah,
you don't get it. You don't get it. No, they
so okay, you touched on this, and you just prompted a new question, so I'm going to keep you another second longer.
Yeah, you know, for sure.
What? Okay, what is, and this is me relying on you as somebody who's done this. What is the difference like between you have you said the Gordo, the Toro, and the Robusto. Those are all fairly standard, long, maybe box press, maybe not, whatever. You don't do box press, but the Flying Pig, I hear about the Lancero and how, you get more of the wrapper flavor. And that's the point of the Lancero, is that it draws that wrapper. But the Flying Pig, I'm curious, about like that size, that figurado size. What makes that different, that's a size that you want to pursue?
I think it's just really the look and the style makes it kind of unique. That's one factor. The other factor is you're giving large ring gauge guys a large ring gauge that they don't have to spend 2 hours, 3 hours to smoke, but get that flavor that they want from that, the 60 ring gauge or 58 ring gauge on a short smoke. And so it's just unique size, allowing a certain segment that loves the larger ring gauges, but they tend to be on large length cigars. So you shorten that smoke, give them a more of a time that they want to smoke. And then at the end of the day, it is one of the cigars that I hear all the time that Flying Pig, that size. So Flying Pig is Drew Estates.
Yes.
But that's a great cigar. That's a great cigar that they only launch, once a year, and everybody gobbles up. So are we thinking, okay, if you can't get that one every time you want to pick it up, try West Tampa. Not saying to me that that West Tampa is going to make you go away from Flying Pig. I don't want that. But what we want to, between the get and the go, here's something I can kind of offer you to get you to like a vacation. Everybody wants to go to Hawaii, but my pocket right now can afford, Clearwater. So, okay, just go to Clearwater, and then you have the opportunity, when that opportunity to have a Flying Pig. Don't reach for West Tampa. Reach for the Flying Pig and enjoy it, and then it's gone. Reach back for West Tampa. So that it's all kind of in play in my eyes to deliver something out here. I've only connect with my fan base. What do you want from us? Because I do not want to be a dictator. Okay, this is what I want to offer you. Well, I didn't want that. Well, I don't care. This is it. I want what you want. So I'm hearing, oh, I love that size. Multiple times, I'm going to give you that size. Oh, Lancero, typically, I don't smoke those cigars. But I'm hearing this is kind of being reborn. People are gravitating back to these, smaller sizes. The day of the large ring gauges, 60s, 70s, 80s, it's, they had this a time in the sunshine for 5 years, and people are like, okay, smoke that, bought the C-shirt. Now let's go back to some of these classic sizes. Maybe the Corona. There's another size that we want to introduce for red, white, and the Corona size. Lancero is kind of coming on board. So all the cigar geeks tend to lead us to the direction that you're going to smoke in the future. Because the cigar geeks are, okay, everybody's smoking 6x60s. Okay, let's change. We're now going to smoke a Lancero. They're like, what the fuck? Johnny, you were always smoking the 7x7. Now you're smoking. Yes, because I know something that you don't know. Okay, and I guarantee you, people are going to follow the cigar geeks.
Interesting. Okay. Well, and to your point, it gives a little something for everybody because I mean, I know that the big ring gauges, I've talked with some guys that are truckers. They love the
Yeah.
big ring gauges
Yes,
because
yes.
they can fire it up and they get three
Yeah.
hours of drive time with a 7x70 to where
Mhm.
they don't have to light up another cigar for, quite a ways. And, you're talking about the figure out of the pig size. It's what I'm hearing there is we don't want to necessarily replace your love of this cigar. We just want to be included in the rotation. We just, that's the
Exactly.
thing. It's
No,
like we just want to be
no.
part of the rotation.
Right. And so, yeah, bro, again, there's certain sizes that if I'm dressed in a tuxedo, I'm not going to pull out a 7x70.
Yeah.
When I dress in a tuxedo, I feel like James Bond, and James Bond is going to order a martini and a cigar, and I guarantee Bond is not going to order this. He's going to order a classic, like maybe a Churchill, maybe a Lancero, a Corona, something
Rothschild.
elegant that
Yeah. Something. Yeah.
he can sit down with his martini, and it's not this thing like bro, no. So I think pick your sizes in the area. I'm playing golf. The number one size for golfers for a General Cigar was a 7x70 flathead. Why? Why?
Interesting.
What? Why? Because, bro, I can light that thing, and 3 hours later, I'm finished with my round. Take my last choke, and I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
done. If I do a Robusto or a Toro, I have to smoke a Robusto at least 3 to 4, a Toro me at least two, but a 7x70, and they're tough because they're connected broadleaf. I can throw them ground; they don't damage, and like Cameroon and all that. So
Yeah.
pick your sizes by what you're doing. So if I was watching a football game, I love the 6x60 flathead because it lasts me about the game because I'm smoking, drinking, talking, all some brown. This cigar took me 2 or 3 hours to smoke. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Ricky, we will let you get on with your day, but seriously,
What?
congratulations again for everything. Like I said, you dominated the Parishioners top 25 of
It's
2023,
amazing.
taking four spots. I mean, it's like everything except the Boliche, which, like you said, came out as they were voting. So, I mean, it was pretty much a clean sweep for you. So I know that my listeners really enjoy your products, and we want to thank you for taking time out to talk to us about it.
Well, thank you guys for so much because we are a young company, and myself is old in the business, but this is a young company for you guys to enjoy our cigars. Thank you, and I'll end it this way. There's a lot of bullshit going around the world. Biden versus Trump, Israel versus Palestine, fucking Russia. Hey, just stop, and just pray for everybody. And I don't care what side you're on. I don't care. That side has a family. That side is working hard for their family. So I don't care if you agree or disagree with that perfect, but just pray for everybody. So if you can say a prayer on Christmas Eve and say, just bro, wish the best for everybody, even your enemy, because your enemy is struggling right now. So maybe if he's better off, he's not as nasty to you as he is today, because maybe his life is changing and he's going to come to you and say, bro, I was a neighbor. I was a shitty neighbor. I quit drinking. I'm so sorry. You don't know what's going on. So don't be so hard to judge. Just pray for everybody. Say your prayer, whatever God you want to pray to, and know that if you're smoking a cigar, there's thousands of people, millions of people would love the opportunity like you to have that hour to relax, enjoy a cigar, and not worry about getting shelled, getting shot at, being able to have a Christmas for my children because I don't have money. So we're lucky. We're lucky to do what we do, and we're lucky to be able to afford cigars, smoke cigars for our friends. And so we are lucky. So sometimes stop and realize there is unlucky people in the world. And if you just say, "Hey, bro, just a prayer for you. And so
No.
if you could do that, I would love that. And thank you so much for your opportunity. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Holidays for anybody else out there in the world.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you. And that's a fantastic sentiment to go into 2024 with. So again, we really want to thank Rick Rodriguez for taking time out, and we want to congratulate him once again on an awesome showing on the Parishioners list. You know, taking 24th with the West Tampa Tobacco White, taking 20th with the Attic Series, taking 4th with the West Tampa Tobacco Black, and obviously taking the top spot, the number 1 spot with the West Tampa Tobacco Red. It's a fantastic cigar, well deserved, and you all, you like your West Tampa tobacco. That is very, very clear. So we really want to thank Rick for taking time out of his holiday season to talk with us and share some insight into not just that cigar, but the other cigars that he has in his line. So now let's hear about My Monthly Cigars. This would normally be the time that I give some information about My Monthly Cigars, but I've hired that out this week, so take it away.
My Monthly Cigars is a premium cigar subscription service. It comes in a variety of different size boxes at affordable prices. Use offer code PULPIT and get free shipping on your first box and 20% off any items in the online store at mymonthlycigars.com.
That's offer code PULPIT. Thanks! And while you guys are over there, make sure you check out the fucking good coffee because, you don't want to be a fucker. Drink fucking good. I'm drinking fucking good coffee right now. And, while we're on the subject of My Monthly Cigars, I want to take a moment to really thank Nick Gervais for all of his work and effort helping to arrange the Parishioners Top 25 list of 2023. He facilitated the whole thing. I mean, between putting up the nomination page on his website where you all were able to go on and nominate your cigars. He then compiled the list, looked through all of the different cigars that you guys nominated. I think there were like 70-ish cigars that were put forth. However, once the duplicates were kind of taken out and combined and everything like that, it came down to, I think, 47 cigars. And he put together the voting form with all those cigars on it. Then, hosted that. And then from there, he did all the work, putting together the votes, tallying the votes, and coming up with the actual list. All the graphics that you've seen on social media and everything like that. He made all that. So I do really want to thank Nick for taking the bull by the horns and really making the Parishioners list a reality this year, because it was a great help, and I know everybody's enjoyed it. So thank you, Nick. I do appreciate that. In terms of the socials, I'm available on Instagram at The Cigar Pulpit. Obviously, we're on Facebook where we have the Parishioners group. Get in on the Parishioners group, and then you can be involved in fun stuff like this list as well. I'm on Twitter/X, where really need to probably start thinking about doing more on there in 2024. We'll see how that goes. We are available on YouTube where you can watch this, and if you have not gone to the website, cigarpulpit.com, to sign up for the newsletter, make sure you go over there, sign up, give your email address in the little pop-up thing that says, talks about the newsletter. And soon enough, the newsletters will start up in January. And I promise I'm not going to spam you. We're going to have some good information in there, cigar reviews, various other things that are going to come along. And so it'll be a nice addition to your inbox. It won't be spam. Anyway, I really just want to say thank you to everybody. 2023 has been an interesting year for a lot of aspects for me. Both personally and professionally. It's been little ups, little downs, little sideways, and having to maneuver around and make things work. It's been I think the best way I can sum it up is 2023 has been a very interesting and at times complicated year. But you guys, you stuck it through with me, and download numbers have been as good as they ever were, if not, and oftentimes, better. I mean, my top two best months ever came along in 2020, the second half of 2023. And so it's one of those things that there's been times that this year has been challenging, and I really want to thank everybody for coming along on the ride and helping out, because it's been great. So, everybody from Luke and Noah and the guys at Smoking Butts and Tappin' Ash and Pinky and Trey Mac and Nick Gervais and Mr. Jonathan and Dave Garofalo and all of the various manufacturers that have been guests, my dad and Ken Klarich and, obviously Dan the Man Ponder at Riverman Cigar Company, Huso Aroa and the whole Aladino team, Renee at Villiger Cigars, again, Nick Gervais over at My Monthly Cigars and Fucking Good Coffee. It really did. It takes a team to get this thing put together and make it entertaining for all of you to enjoy, twice a week, which I have many people telling me I'm a fool for doing it twice a week. But it's one of those things. I think there's enough going on, and I think there's enough interesting people to talk to, that doing it only once a week, I feel like, by the time I get that all scheduled out, it's going to be, there's times when I'd be scheduling people months and months out, and I'm anxious to talk to them now. I'm anxious to talk to them, and get that information out quickly, because it's fun. It's entertaining, and it's good information to know. And so I don't want to wait. So that's why I do 2 a week. And yeah, sometimes it's complicated. My life has gotten a little busier, which is not a bad thing. But it has resulted in me having to pre-record some shows and get some in the can so that I can go and enjoy a vacation or go and enjoy some time and, that sort of thing, without having to worry about recording and editing a show while I'm on the road. But, it is what it is. So I really want to thank you all for all of your kind words and support and everything throughout 2023. And I think 2024 is going to be a really good year. I have a high confidence that some good stuff is going to come along in 2024, and I hope that you all come along on the ride. So with that being said, everybody have a very safe, have a very happy New Year's. Don't drink and drive. Get a hotel room. Get an Uber. I mean, just be safe about it. We don't want to have anybody having a bad night that night. So anyway, be safe for the New Year's, and I will see you all again in 2024. With that, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. Oh, wait, I hit the wrong button. This has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick. Everybody stay safe and stay smoky. Happy New Year, guys.